in your dog's life where they have attitude based around a certain situation, if you take care of it, you're getting rid of the attitude, not just that particular issue. Because I could give two craps if he gets in the car right now. I'm ready to go home. It's the point that he's being non-compliant. That's why I'm doing this. It's not because it's a big deal whether he gets in the car or not. It's because he's not listening, and I get to tackle that. Heel. So that's the first thing somebody will say to you, like, well, what's the big deal? Why can't he just get in the car? You're missing the point. I tell him to be here and he's trying to go there. That's the conversation. It's the same thing when I say don't go after those dogs or don't get on the counter. It's me saying one thing and him doing the opposite. That's the argument that we're having. That's me and him hashing this out. That's me gaining leadership. So, you know, if you can't handle these little situations like this, then I definitely want to get a shepherd or any other powerful breed. You might want to stick to something really, really soft and easier to manage. Like maybe not even a dog at all, maybe a gerbil or a cat or a goldfish. Psychological, right? So now I'm going to recall him out. It sounds evil because he wants to be in there and he went through all this and then finally decided he was going to listen. And I said, okay, now you can get in. And now that he's in, he's comfortable, now I'm going to say, okay, now you need to come out. He's also reactive to dogs, which just walked by. So once the attitude's gone, there's no need to do this anymore. But while there's an attitude, this is how you get rid of it. Come. Good boy, come. With all that attitude, he's going to bite. You see that? Come. Until he decides, okay? That's his choice. This tells you what kind of dog you have. You have a dog who tries to be dominant. You have a dog who's willing to use his teeth. If I was right there, you know he'd be trying to nip at me. That is who this guy is. And now it just takes somebody to say, that's not a valuable option for you anymore, until it changes his belief system, humbles him a little bit, softens him, and then he's ready to go. But obviously, we need a leader in his life like we do with every dog, because if it's up to him, eventually he will bite somebody if they try to get him to do something he doesn't want him to do, unless you gain control. And that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm paid to do, is to be the first person to gain that control and then give it to the owner, okay? For a guy like this, you know, they're nippy. Yeah. Right? So you got to be firm when you need to be. Even that little curve of his head around my leg was disrespectful. You have to see all these little things. Okay? Because he wants to go there, so he starts to. So that's not bad. That's cool. But when he starts to push and look at what he wants, where he wants to go, it's him arguing with my authority, pretty much. You know? In dog language. Sit. Good. He's starting to soften. That's when I know the session's coming to an end. And that's when you start seeing me pat. Good job. Show him that, right? But while he's being non-compliant, pushy, bratty, whatever you want to call it, he's not getting any of that affection. He's just getting corrections, right? Break. Nice work. Now, be patient, because yes, I'm going to recall him again, because I want to make sure he's going to do it without an attitude. So now you get an insight of what we have to do with sometimes to get these dogs over the hump. It doesn't just go away without somebody having to lift the weight and move it. Somebody has to be here and do the nitty-gritty. And you know, it's very common for a dog sometime between the 2-week program, the 3-week program, sometime in their stay, to just say, what happens if I just don't want to and I start throwing a fit and I start using my teeth and all this? They have to know what happens, some of these dogs. They find out what happens and they say, okay, I'm good. And then on the other side, in a few days from now, we're going to see a much better version of himself with all that attitude gone, and he just feels like a good companion. Don't kid yourself. Somebody had to take that pile of shit and shovel it and throw it into the woods. All right, it didn't just magically disappear. And this is what it looks like. It's not fun. I'm not out here having a blast. I'm out here working. And I'm getting the job done. And he's going to be an awesome dog. And in like a week, you're going to see me hiking with him off leash and everything's going to be fine and dandy. But I didn't just go, okay? Come. 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 Pump. Good. Sit. So now we got the problem, so it's not him going into the car, it's just him coming out. So now we do this over and over again. Isn't it fun? Yes, it's attitude. That's why if you just focus on the commands, you don't get a good product. Break. So it's up to him how many times we do this. It's not up to me. But I have a code. If you keep giving me attitude and messing up and you're not trying, we keep going. If he was trying, but it was hard for him, we wouldn't be having this conversation. It's not hard for him. It's very easy for him. This is all attitude. Good. A little bit better, but his first instinct was to see if he could go into the seat. So it's not done, but it's better.
A little bit more, just a little.
Yeah, it was almost perfect, except I watched him see if he could go into the seats first, so that tells me, nah, not perfect, not done. Come. Good, that's what I'm looking for. Good boy. Sit. That's the one, and that's when we end. Good. No question, no hesitation, came right out. Here's the trick. Anything lesser than that performance will be corrected. That's how we get the good performance all the time, every time. Okay? It's not rocket science, it's just hard work raising a dog properly. You have to correct, you have to punish, and it takes time. I would have liked to have been home 30 minutes ago, right? Ideally. But if something comes up, you calm down, you deal with it, you move on so that you don't have to do it tomorrow.